Hi, my name is Teresa and welcome to the Magical Mystery Tour. That is my channel. Today we're going to do an eyeshadow tutorial using 3 shades from the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. Try saying that 3 times. Okay, we're going to use these shades I'm Shy, Laura and Classic straight down the center here. I have already prepped my face. I am doing a bit of a makeup wear test for another video. So before we get to it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to be notified with any uploads, and at the end, if you do like this, please give this video a big thumbs up. So if you are new to makeup, are not sure about your blending, this is what we're going to do in it. If you haven't done it before and you want to learn how to blend out your eyeshadow, I'll link down in the description box a previous video that I did for a one and done tutorial that will teach you about blending and getting an air blown look. But today we're going to use 3 shades and build upon that. So we'll have a transition shade, which will be our lightest shade, which will be I'm Shy. And then we will deepen the outer corner with Classic. It's still not too deep, and we'll blend those together, and then we'll add a bit of shimmer with the shade Laura. Okay, so we are just going to be essentially using 3 brushes today. We have, these are both from Manicare. I'll list them down in the description box. A fluffy brush, like a thinner fluffy brush, a more dense packing crease brush, and then just a Morphe fine bullet to get in our inner corner. You can use any brushes. I will be doing an in-depth video coming up soon in regards to brushes if you're not sure what to use. And look, they don't have to be super expensive. We're not brush snobs here, so we'll just go through and describe what to use, how to use, give a few recommendations on where to start. But first, going in with I'm Shy. Tap your brush in gently, tap it off to get rid of any fallout. We'll zoom in a bit so you can see a bit, and tucking in. Now this is going to be a theme that you learn on here, is let's hold our brushes correctly. Hold them down at the end of the barrel, hold them gently, hold them like a cup of tea. It's a cup of tea, people, say that to yourselves. And looking straight ahead, particularly if you have hooded eyes. Even if you don't, it's worth learning because it will teach you about placement and if you want to see your shadow appear when your eyes are open, with or without hooded eyes. And if you don't have them, you're lucky, but you may get them as you get older. So looking straight ahead, just placing that across very gently. As you can see, we've got, like, that's about 1 centimetre. Obviously, I've got a lot of space. I've got a decent amount of space here. Do what works for you. I've got this much because I have got a big amount of space. If you've got a small amount of space there, you may want to go sideways, and just so that you can see it when you look forward. This is just a few shades lighter than my own skin tone. Dipping in and out again as you need to. And again, looking straight ahead. So we start with, as you can see what I'm probably doing here, sort of windshield wiper motions, shorter ones as needed, longer ones. And then as we get to the edge, we just tickle the edges. Really fine circles to diffuse that out. So this one isn't as slow as the previous one, the one on the Eyeshadow 101. So if you're not sure and you're not feeling comfortable, again, go back and watch that. But given that I'm not using the one shade to build up the tonality of it, we can go a little bit faster. Tilting the brush down now to soften the edges. Don't forget, grab yourself a clean microfiber cloth. Clean off your brush after using. Now we are going to go in with this denser brush now and going into the shade Classic. It's a neutral toned, neutral mid-tone brown. stamping it in to create the shape that we want initially. It's a bit of a wedge shape. And I've built up the colour there, as you can see. And then going in with the first brush that's cleaned off now, just going over the edges. Lightly. Just circling like I'd mentioned before. And then pulling that shadow in a little. Now we want to just buff out the edges there so that you can see they're transitioning in, they're starting to blend well. Now this isn't a super dark look, and we don't want it to be. This is a very wearable day look. You see that's just buffed out. Going back in to do the other side, I nearly went in with my fluffy brush. Going in with the denser brush, stamping that in. So as you can see, we're getting a little wedge out there. Hooded eye girlies, that's to push this fatty, saggy part back. As you can see, when we open our eyes fully, we need to be able to see that. Clean brush in between using. Back to the first brush. And tickling out the edge. We're going to do the same as what we did there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the same sort of happening on both eyes now. Going back into the first, the lightest shade, I'm Shy. Clean brush, tapping it off. Again, very lightly. Just going over where the darker and the I'm Shy shade matches. You will learn to just go back. It's just that little bit extra time to go back. You're building layer upon layer, essentially, like you do if you want to build up your foundation, like you do if you're painting. Going in with a quick 2-minute look, one layer, you're not going to get that elevated blend that you're after. So it's just about building your layers. Go in with that. Back in with the thicker brush, just sort of flicking up on the outer. I just want to put a little bit of extra shading in there. So before I go into the shimmer, we're going to do under our eye. Now, I'm just going to use a lighter shade in my waterline, so the Mecha Zoom Stick in Nude, just to open up my eyes today. If you wanted a more intense look, you could go in with a caramel, a chocolate, but we're keeping it pretty light and bright and opening up. So underneath our eyes, we will, keeping it simple, we're not trying to add too many brushes to it. So original light fluffy brush. Just, as you can see, I'm just going onto the side with that, right? Tap it off, look up, going gently, go in to your lash line, tickling along the lashes, just to give you a bit of colour under there. This serves double duty in that it'll stop anything that you have under your eye, your concealer, foundation, anything like that. It'll stop the creasing because you're buffing it. Just along the lash line. And it's that simple. We're not adding too much to that. Now going into the shimmer shade Laura. Let me make sure I've got the right one. This one here. Now let's have a look at that. If you're worried about having hooded eyes, being older, wearing shimmer, you absolutely can. I do all the time. The difference is that we're not using it around this area. We're being strategic in how we place it. So we're placing it, this is our mobile lid, this part. So anything from our eye socket, not our crease, because they're two different things, see previous video. We're going, anything that is in this area, this is our mobile lid. That's where we use the shimmer, in this area here. If your nails are short enough, use your finger. It is always the best way to apply shimmer without fail, because it's a press and dab motion and it will adhere to your eyelids without much fallout at all, if any. If you are using a brush, use a flat brush, put it into your eyeshadow, drag it across, put it into your eyeshadow, and then spray a liquid on it. Just a mist, a setting spray, either or, and then press onto your lid. This will make the colour payoff more intense, closer to this, and it will prevent, again, will prevent fallout. So you can just build that up. It's a beautiful shade. So going in with a bullet brush now, into the same shadow, into the Lunar shimmer, and we're sticking it right in the corner of our eye for our inner corner highlight, and just pressing around, but then following the line of our orbital bone up to nearly the halfway point, and then lifting it up again here, and just following that. You can see the pressure that I'm putting on it. I'm pushing quite hard and dragging it up. That brings the shade up, that adheres it firmly to my eyelid, but it also naturally follows the contour and will make it even. Don't spend too much time trying to work out where it is. Feel the pressure of it and let that be your guide. Just a little bit underneath. And if you want to make this just a little bit more intense, grab yourself an eyebrow liner brush of some sort. You can go in with the same shade, or you can go in a slightly little bit darker, but for the purposes of this, we'll use the same shade. Just use it along there. And we've just given that a little bit of extra depth. So it's that simple. As you can see, it didn't take us too long to do that. So I'm just going to put some mascara on now, and we'll be back and check it out. Okay, so I've done my mascara, so that is it. Like, let's have a look. As you can see, it's really simple, easy, blended out, not too much depth in that shadow, so it's a really nice neutral day look. 3 shades. You've got a really light transition shade, we've got a slightly darker mid-tone brown, and then a bit of shimmer. So follow along. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. It's pretty simple. If you've got any questions, please don't forget to put them in the comments below if there's anything that you would like to see. But thank you for coming along on the Magical Mystery Tour. My name is Teresa and I have been your tour guide. Don't forget to tell your mum, tell your friends, tell your sisters. Come along and join this community. Until next time, bye.